Yo, what's going on? What's happening? Looks like your boy Eligio, also known as Natureboy, is in some deep trouble. You know what I'm saying? So right now, they're doing jury selection. This man is going to trial. And I always knew that this day was going to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to follow him, not follow him like that, you know what I'm saying? But like follow him, like look at his videos, because I was just so fascinated on how all these cult leaders, they follow the same pattern. Like Natureboy, Polight, and Dr.York are one and the same. So I used to look at his videos and I used to just shake my head like, man, it's one thing to, because, you know, he had a cult, for those that didn't know. You know what I'm saying? He was the cult leader. The cult was called Carbonation. And he recruited people from all around the United States, you know what I'm saying? Mostly blacks. You know what I mean? So black people, you know what I'm saying, that joined his cult were joining it for different reasons. From what I gathered, most of them were going for spirituality, you know what I'm saying? And he had this cult outside of the United States. So he was mostly based in New Mexico. So, you know, he would bring people down to New Mexico to join the cult. But you had to have some money. Of course, you know, cult leaders, it's always like that. Straight up, it's all a pattern. It's always, cult leaders and cults are always about sex and money and abuse. For real. That's the three things that I see in every cult and cult leader. So he would bring these people in, and they would give them the people, the cult followers would give all the money and valuables to this man, and the women would give themselves up to him. And he recorded all of this stuff. He recorded himself having sexual intercourse with the women in the cult, abusing the women, mistreating the men, because there were men in there too. I mean, the cult was just off the hook, and everything, all of the criminal activities that he did, that he performed, he recorded it and put it on and went live on Instagram. And for those, for things that he didn't go live on, for the things that he did that he didn't go live on Instagram, he put it on YouTube. And it's crazy. I saw this day coming. I was like, yo, it's only a matter of time before this man gets caught, before he gets hemmed up. And once he gets hemmed up and they put him, you know what I'm saying, up for trial, he's going down. It's going to be an open and closed case. Because the attorneys, all they're going to use is the videos that he recorded against them. And it's real talk. I mean, it's damaging evidence out there. And it's still, it's still videos of him abusing and mistreating women online till this day. And it's crazy. And I know what you all are going to say. You're going to say, man, you know, some of these people, well, most of these people that joined the cult and part of Carbonation, they were silly, they were fools, and they was weak-minded, this and that and so forth. Well, I'm going to tell you seriously, at the end of the day, I was part of a cult. Some of you all know my story. I was part of a cult called the United Nuwabi Nation of Moors. I mean, it's had so many names. It's morphed into so many things, you know what I'm saying, until it's ridiculous. So when I joined, it was Holy Tabernacle Ministries, and now it's All Eyes on Egypt. And before I became a part of the organization, or cult rather, it was called the Ansar Allah Community. And the cult leader, his name at the time was Iman Isa. When I joined, it was Dr.York, and then we went, and also known as Marduk too. And he was Melchizedek. This man was so many different people till it didn't make no sense. But he also said that he had different beings speaking through him. And that he had 76 trillion years of knowledge. This man, Dr. York, also known as Aphrodite Tumray, also known as Amanubi Rapata, also known as Iman Isa, also known as Marduk, also known as Melchizedek, also known as Reverend Dr. York, also known as Chief Black Eagle, is in jail right now, serving time 135 years. That's Polight's spiritual father. Because Polight used to be a Nuwabian. And you know the story of Polight. He's in jail for touching little kids. He's serving 7 years in jail. And Natureboy, he touched little kids too. And he's about to go to jail. You see the similarities? You see the pattern? And it's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And let me tell you something about a cult, man. It's not, you may think that it's for all weak-minded people, but it's really not. It's really not. It's for those that's really in search for self. Because most people join a cult because they can't identify with the outside world. And they're trying to do some, they're soul searching. And all you need is a person that's charismatic, like your Polight, like your Dr.Yorks, like your Natureboy, that know a little something. I mean, Dr. York, based on now the Nubians, or rather Sabians, they're saying that this man has written over 1,100 books. So at the time that I joined the organization, I thought this man knew everything. All you need is a person that has a way of word, that knows big words and shit like that, know a little something, and boom, it's over. And what's so crazy is some people would down people such as myself and others that used to be part of a cult, or still is part of a cult. Oh man, you weak-minded, man. You know, you how could you fall for that? This man, I know Dr. York's story, you know what I'm saying? He said he was from another planet. How would you believe that? This and that and so forth. And it's crazy because what we fail to realize, living here in America, that we're part of a bigger cult that's bigger than Dr. York. It's called the United States of America. And if you don't believe me, pledge allegiance to the flag and you'll hear it. You'll hear the cult-like following. You're pledging allegiance to an entity. And every 4 years, you vote for the candidate that you believe that's going to change your life. Or rather, your cult leader. Call the president of the United States, where he can, you know what I'm saying, change your children's life. I could go further when dealing with religion, especially Christianity. It should be bugging me out every Easter. Christians will say some shit like, let me take it back. Christians will say some shit like voodoo is satanic worship. And they perform, you know, the chicken and they cutting off the head and they doing this and that and so forth. Well, shit, to be real with you, and they drinking the blood and all. Well, to be real with you, a lot of black people eat fried chicken. A lot of people eat dead birds. So stop it. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is they're talking about a ritual that voodoo, that people that practice voodoo do, as far as dealing with a chicken and the goat, etc. But they fail to mention the ritual that they do every Easter when they take the bread and they break it, and that symbolizes the body of Christ, and they drink the grape wine, and that symbolizes the blood of Christ. So stop it with the bullshit. Stop it. I could go on with this. I could go on with this. But everybody's in search for self, for that journey within. And you have people, you know what I'm saying, that are deceitful, that can see that you're in search for of self, that you're trying to be spiritual, and they utilize that against you. They use that against you. And this is what they did. This is what people such as your Natureboys, your Dr. Yorks, and your Polights have done. Ruin people's lives in the process of trying to give people spirituality or something that was missing, that already existed within them. And I'm here to tell you, to be real with you, if I had it to do all over again, I would do it all over again, because guess what being part of a cult taught me? It taught me that the only person that can get me out, or the only person that can save me, or the only savior, is within me. Straight up. Because ain't no one man, whether you're the president of the United States, whether you're Jesus Christ, whether you're Dr.York, Polight, Natureboy, is going to get me out of any situation that I'm in. I know me better than than anyone else knows me. And so do you too. You know yourself. And it's just overall, we've been tricked. Everyone has been tricked to a certain degree. As to think and believe that one man can change your world, that one man can save you. So when you see someone that's part of a cult, don't down them. Because unknowingly, you are part of a cult too. But yeah, man, it's his time. It's his time. It's time to go, Eligio. And the sad case, what's so sad about the situation is, now that Dr. York is serving 135 years, Polight is 7 years, and I'm pretty sure Eligio, also known as Natureboy, will serve between 10 to 15 years. Guess what? There'll be someone else to replace them. Straight up. Because one thing that I realize about black people in specific, we're always looking for someone to save us. Straight up. I mean, hell, Dr. Martin Luther King has a cult-like following. We're always looking for someone to save us. And I get it. Black people have been through quite a lot in the United States, while living in the United States of America. I get it. You know what I'm saying? If you were a little black boy like me, coming from a single parent household, growing up, didn't have a father figure there, man, shit, it's easy for you to join the cult. Because I looked at that man, called Dr. York, as not only a father figure, but a spiritual teacher, a spiritual leader. Like, I truly believed in what he said. And that's real talk. Man, pastors, preachers, prophets, so-called prophets, all of them are trying to make a profit when you go to church. That's all they're trying to do is get your money. Because religion / spirituality is a big business. And you got black preachers, white preachers, pastors that got mega churches, selling people hope. Man, I remember back in the days when I went to my uncle's church. My uncle's pastor, or the church that he was affiliated or went to or whatever, goes to, this motherfucker had a goddamn ATM machine in his fucking church and a bookstore. It's all about money. It's all about money. What's the best-selling book? The #1 best-selling book in America? I'm waiting. Tell me. You know what it is? The Bible. Real talk. So you want to condemn me, and you want to knock people that are part of a cult and all the rest of that shit? Man, I could go there with you. We all are part of it. We all looking for spiritual enlightenment. We all looking for that journey that we fail to realize that's not external, it's within. And that's real talk. That's real talk, man. If I had it to do all over again, I'm going to say this if I hadn't said it already. You know, for joining the cult, I would do it again. Because it taught me. The cult taught me. Even Christianity, because before, believe it or not, before I became a part of Dr. York's cult, I was born into one cult called Christianity. And I wouldn't do things any different than what I did in my past, because it taught me a valuable lesson. And that is to rely on self. That if there is any God, he is not up there, or she is not up there, or over there, or over there. It's within. And that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's a shame that now we live in a day and time where people will definitely take advantage of others that's seeking spiritual enlightenment. It really is. You know what I mean? And every now and then, those particular people that take advantage of others that are looking for that spiritual enlightenment tend to get caught. They tend to get sloppy. Because most cult leaders, here we go with the patterns again. Most cult leaders, such as your Dr.Yorks, your Polights, and your Natureboys, they're narcissistic. They're egos. They're ego-driven. And it's to the point where they've done so much wrong, it's to the point where it gets to the point where they're like, oh shit, I truly think I could get away with it. And then they have this God-like concept. You know, Dr. York said, you know, that he wasn't God, but I mean, he might as well have said he was. He said he was Melchizedek. He said he said he was the grandson of the ancient Sumerian God. I knew the Most High. He said that he was Amenubi Rakbata, Aferti Atun Ray, those pharaohs. He said he was Iman Isa. He said he had several different beings inside of him that talks to him. He said that that he had 76 trillion years of knowledge. So how in the world do you say at the end of that you're not God? I mean, you can say you're not, but shit, I mean, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'll never forget being part of that cult. You know, the positive side of it is that I learned a lot. I really did. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot, a whole lot. You know what I mean? As far as dealing with ancient history, you know, ancient civilizations to be specific. You know what I mean? But the pain that I went through, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go through any type of physical abuse, but I went through a whole lot of verbal abuse. Of course, you had to turn in money. You know what I'm saying? Each week, my turn in for each week was $135 a week, and it climbed up as I made more money. You know what I'm saying? Most of you know, the cult, the Nubian cult, that is, you know, that Dr. York ran. You know, most of the people that were part of that cult, you know, we were, you know, street hustlers. You know, we would go out there, sell bootleg movies, bootleg CDs. For those that didn't sell that, you know, you sell oils, incense, Dr. York's books, you know, and his pamphlets and stuff like that. You know, most of that stuff didn't really sell. You know, I'm just gonna be real. The cult really, you know, it took off because a lot of us were selling like bootleg movies, and that's how we made our money, and that's what we turned in. You know what I'm saying? And that man, man, before they locked him up, they found like, when they locked him up, they found like $500,000 under his bed. You know, he had a land called Tamaray that we used to go down, you know, and he would teach, and all the rest of that stuff. Was 436 acres of land. I think 435 or 36 acres of land. It had a lake in the back. You know what I'm saying? He would have Savior's Day week. That was part of the celebration of his birthday, which was June the 26th. So they would fall along the line of that week of his birthday. You know what I'm saying? And we would go down there, and we would have drum ceremonies. They had pyramids there, you know, different statues of, you know, Egyptian deities such as Asar or Osiris and Aset. You know what I mean? It was crazy. But all through that, he was touching children and abusing people. You know, this man has multiple kids. He's known to have at least about 100 documented real children. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that's documented. You know, man, I'm gonna say this, like Polight and Natureboy don't have nothing on Dr. York, but of course, it's crazy. They took a page out of his book though. You know what I'm saying? And did their own thing. And Polight has said numerous of times that Dr. York is his spiritual leader, his spiritual teacher. You know what I'm saying? And Natureboy knows of Dr. York and has talked about, you know what I'm saying, the doctrine numerous of times. But yeah, man, I mean, for those that are just now waking up and seeing things, you know what I'm saying, and saying like, yo, I never knew that there was a such thing as a black cult and a black leader. A black cult leader and all that. Yeah, man. Yeah, and there's no telling how many more, you know what I'm saying, cult leaders and cults that are out there. Black cults, that is. You know what I'm saying? But Dr. York's cult, man, that to me, in my opinion, had to have been the biggest one out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? And there's still bookstores out there. You know, I think it's one still in Charlotte that's open. You go to it, and it's called all of the bookstores are called All Eyes on Egypt. You know what I'm saying? You go to the bookstore, and basically 90% of the books that's inside the bookstore are authored by Dr. York. You know, it's crazy because I used to work in the bookstore in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Part of the reason why I moved here was because of the fact that they opened up a bookstore here. You know what I mean? And this was one when they were on Monroe Road, you know what I'm saying, back in the days, years ago. This had to be about, probably about 10, 12 years ago, something like that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I worked at the bookstore, and I never got paid. You know, you don't get paid for working there. You're at the bookstore, and you selling books and everything, and you making a little bit of money, and you don't get paid. And then also on top of that, they want you to turn in money every week. Plus, they want you to go out. If you're not at the bookstore making money for them, they want you to go out and hit up barbershops and shit like that. And like I said, just, you know, be a street hustle, you know, and go out there and make money and turn that money in. It was crazy, man. My bookstore got robbed, you know what I'm saying, by a member that was part of the bookstore that I was in. And I could go on and on with these stories, you know what I'm saying? If you really want to know about the stories, I got them still up. It's called The Confessions of a Nubian, Ex-Nubian, on this channel. You know what I mean? Go to the playlist. I think that's all of it. It's like part 1 through 25. I think 1 through 25, 26 or something like that. But yeah, man, you know, it's real. It's real. You know, I'm glad Eligio, Natureboy, is locked up. I can't wait to hear, you know, him being sentenced, and how long he's gonna be in jail for. I'm glad Dr. York, also known as the White York, is, you know, he's locked up, as well as Polight. You know what I mean? These people deserve to be in jail, and it's just that plain and simple. I want to say one thing before I'm out. Regardless of religion, way of life, you know, all of that, politics, United States of America, and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Push that to the side. The key, the answer, your salvation your savior, all of what you're looking for is within. Keep that in mind. If you stick to that, if you stay with that, you'll be all right. Straight up. You are never alone. I'm glad they have cell phones, and these cell phones have Bluetooth, as well as the cars. So while I'm driving down Highway 77 and 485, people look at me as if I'm, talking to someone. Because, just about every car has Bluetooth, but in reality, I'm talking to myself. I'm glad that there's cell phones, because I could just put my hand, hold my cell phone up as if I'm talking on the phone, but I'm really talking to myself. And the crazy thing about it, this is crazy to me. They'll call you crazy for talking to yourself. But the reality is all you have is you. Embrace yourself. Love yourself. Because can't nobody do a better job than you when it comes to loving yourself. When it comes to supporting, inspiring and motivating yourself. Keep that in mind, man. And trust me, if you keep that shit in mind, no one would ever fool you. Ever. Love yourself. Straight up. I'm out.